Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the USO, the UUP, the GLD, the TLT, and the GDXJ. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Best in the business, been using these guys for years. If you're an active trader, check out CobraTrading.com. You won't be disappointed. All right, guys, let's get into the USO. It was 2.55% up, or 0.27 cents up green on the day. Unbelievable, guys. Dollar up, oil up, little disconnected at this point. We still have, what do we have, 24 million on the day. We had pretty good volume on the spike up. And guys, we plowed through resistance, got through the gap fill. Well, this is what stalled last time. The gap fill here, right at 10.59, and the 750 retrace. Boom, hit that, comes right back in. Retraces to the big trend line, though, which would become support, which was once resistance. And the 50 MA holds up, spikes right back up, gets above the MAs, bullish signal. Here we go, straight up. Guys, in my opinion, we do not need higher oil prices. This will be a test for the Fed to see if American can hold $3 oil price as this one rises, going for this high pivot here at 11.24. First area of resistance will be $11, or this big red breakdown bar. Let's stick a trend line in there. So I'm going to say right around $11, even number. Let's see how it handles that. And then as well as the double top 11.24 area and this high pivot here before we broke down. So it's been a great trading vehicle. We're trying to catch the bottom here, 866, right back up. So let's see where this thing takes us into the week or weeks to come. Will we rise into the Christmas holiday, or will we kind of stall out here or possibly go right back down? So we are adding a trade long on the SCO, just slow and steady. This has been grinding higher, so that's what we do with the SCO, because the SCO is a beast. So we go a little at a time, trying to catch the move, because if this thing turns down, which I believe it will, we will catch a nice move on the SCO. So that's the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart, support and resistance. So this one a little bit different. Let's get the chart open here. So we're back above the moving averages. That's number one goal for these guys, to get it above the moving averages, because then everyone thinks, oh gosh, it's bullish now. Look at us go. So on the weekly, what we're looking for, here's your 11.24, $11 area. We're going to see if this can hold on the weekly. The volume wasn't that great on the weekly to solidify this move up above this high pivot candle with a little tail. So let's see if this thing just clicks over and goes right down. Remember, I'm going to go over the dollar, and we'll talk about the oil with the dollar, because usually dollar up, oil down. Now everything's going up with the dollar. So that's a little bit suspect to me. We also had a high pivot around the 1072 as well, and we just blasted through it. So it was a nice retrace, and then boom, straight up for 1, 2, 3 weeks. Test new highs right at say 1084 or so, and we're still into this big breakdown bar, just like the daily chart as well. So let's keep an eye on this one next week. Let's see if this thing can close with a follow through, maybe around the $11 area or above. That would be a little more bullish, and then we'd probably go to the 11.24 area, and the big area again would be $12 if this were to reach that as it grinds up with the market. So higher oil prices, the economy does not need that, in my opinion, with Yellen possibly raising the rates in December. Let's look at the dollar, the UUP. That's what we follow. So the UUP on the weekly chart, guys, we finally caught a bottom here. We talked about the 23 area, the 24 area. We do have a little bit of consolidation down in here, and that finally caught an area of support, and boom, dollar starts ripping up. We're coming into that big trend line, which it cannot get above it. I mean, we retested it, tried it again, bearish, broke down, a little bit bearish, broke down, and boom, we got a nice reversal here. We are back above the 20 and the 200 moving average on the weekly, so that's slightly bullish, still in a bearish downtrend, but now it's trying to attack the moving averages to break that downtrend to see where this thing goes. Let's get into the daily chart though, the smaller time frame. We talked about these areas, guys. If you move this back, this was the double bottom we were looking at 23.97. We were starting to fall apart. It caught a little bit of support down in here. Let's see. Yeah, you had a good gap fill right in here, and you had another gap fill right about there at 23.70. So we caught that, and that's where it bounced. I thought we could possibly get to this pivot here, right in this area. It's hard to see, I know. And then you had this big gap right here. That's what I was looking for, the 23 area, 22.86. Just didn't get there. But we did ride this one up here on a bull call. We didn't ride it down, unfortunately. I thought we were going to go a little higher, and then they pulled it back on us. So again, though, we're going to look at this. We got back up here. Still bearish down. Look at this down move. Still down. Still slightly sideways. We are breaking that downtrend right here by getting over this high pivot at 24.46. But let's see if we get more follow through. And like I said, here's the big trend line that is going to test right around the 24.93.25 area, and then you have the 200 MA at 25.09. That's going to be big resistance as well as all this consolidation coming here, which was once support going in. Now it's going to be resistance going up. So let's keep an eye on this one. Looks a little bit tired coming off this little pop here, but let's see what kind of pattern develops this week going into next Friday's close for the weekly, and then we'll go from there. And then the monthly close will be on the Tuesday as well, and we'll look at the monthlies as well this week too. But guys, nothing wrong with this one. If you are long from down in here, the 23.75, 24 area, just trail that stop just in case they pull it back. I would expect another pullback here. But let's see what kind of pattern. Really giving us nothing right here other than a nice pop and a nice little pop with a stall out here. Going into these gaps. Did we touch gap? No. We filled the gap here though. Yeah, we did fill a gap there too, and there's another gap. There's a lot of gaps. This thing gapped down, gapped up, stuff like that. But big resistance at this trend line around 25 bucks. So keep an eye on that if you are long the UUP. Let's look at the GLD. So look at this. So usually the dollar up, oil down, dollar up, gold down. Look at this. So dollar's been moving up. Gold got a little pop here because the markets were getting a little bit had a little bit of fear in it. Then right away it comes right back in. But got the 200 MA support right around the 119.72. Still looking a little bit weak. We are below the MA, so it's in a weaker stance. We are cracking this little bit of a trend line, but we did not confirm yet underneath it. Just like here, we popped through, got back up, popped through, stalling. So bullish gold, you want to see it get back above the 20 and the 50 and continue on its way. Bearish gold, you'll look for consolidation over the 200 MA. If this consolidates for a week or two, this could head down to lower prices here. We're looking at, you have a pivot down here at 119. You got a bunch of gap fills down here, but ultimately you have big support right around the 114.43, 115 area with these pivots here, so watch for that. But right now, there's nothing wrong yet. This thing's holding on here. It didn't give us too much on Friday, other than a little stall out, a little bit green on the day, which is interesting because usually if the markets are rallying, gold should be falling because the fear is coming out. But why is this one up on Friday with the markets rallying as much as they did? So keep an eye on the gold trade, guys. I still think we're going higher on the gold. This one here too as well, the weekly, we're still above the 20 or the 50 and the 200. We barely closed below the 20 here. Nice reversal though on the weekly, and then a little doji, so let's keep an eye on this. This was that candle again. We gapped down, never confirmed, straight back up, straight back, nice reversal, got back onto this big trend line. Let's see what this gives us in the next week, and that will tell us a little bit more. But if you're bullish gold, hang on right now. If it pulls back, you're looking at this area here. Got a gap on the weekly too, and then here's these low pivots at the 115 area if it gets there. But let's see what it gives us this week as we're going into more big earnings for the next 5 days or so in trading. Let's go into the TLT. The TLT guys hanging on. Let's go to the daily. So the TLT guys had a great run, let me tell you. I mean, it was choppy. It was choppy and sloppy, but it was still a great run. We held on to this lower trend line. We finally broke down. We retraced back in. Then they gapped it lower, gapped it lower. We are below all the MAs now, so it's in a little bit weaker stance. But the big trend line that I would be watching is this one down here. Until we get below that and start heading down, I still believe this one can possibly go higher. We are below the trend lines or the moving averages, so it's in a little bit of a bearish stance, but we haven't confirmed down here. They had it came in, nice reversal, popped up today, 81 cents. So let's see if we could get this thing going. Bullish, you got to get it back above the MAs, and then we'll go from there. A couple gaps to fill. Bearish, it just needs to keep chopping around here, and it's got to break these areas, especially the 120, 121, or this trend line. We get below that, we'll be definitely filling this gap down here around 116. I'll be, I might start nibbling down here, maybe 115, but we'll have to see how this thing sets up as it's moving up or moving down. Right now, it's really not telling us too much, except it's a little bit weak, being below the MAs. Weekly chart though, weekly tells a little bit different story. You still have nice support here with the 20 and the 200 and the 50 MA, still below the 20, a little bit weak, but this good support's holding this thing up. You have the double bottoms down here, pivots around 122.64, and that's the big lower trend line too. And that lower trend line comes from way back. I mean, that's a big one, guys. That cracks, this thing will be heading lower. Period. So keep an eye on that one. I mean, this thing's been in a big channel too. Check this out. So is this at the lower channel ready to roll again, or is this thing ready to break down and go lower? If it stays above the 200 and the 50, it should stay here. If it consolidates sideways for the next couple weeks, then it could be possibly setting up for lower prices. So let's see where it closes next Friday. That's going to tell us a lot more. But right now, it's not bad. Kind of neutral stance. It's got to give us more to see what pattern develops as a technician. All right, let's get into the GDXJ, which is also the JNUG. This controls the JNUG, guys. This one, this one started taking off. For a trader, if you got in here at 30 and you're at here at 38, you're pulling the plug on this one. That's why, this is a great day trading vehicle. It tried getting above this big trend line. We talked about that one. Couldn't hold it. Little tail up here on the weekly and straight back down, sideways and down. Trying to hold the 200 here on the weekly, so let's see if that can hold. Let's go to the smaller time frame, the daily. Yeah, this thing, it tried popping, couldn't hold, came right in. This is bearish right here, this sideways pattern. And then boom, right back down. And plus we cracked that trend line too. And we talked about this trend line all the way back in May. As long as this trend line holds, it's okay. We got below it. And look, we're going to retest this. Actually, let's stick a smaller. This is the fib from here to here. You got great support at 750 and this double bottom here at 30.92. But if that cracks, we're going right back to double bottom at 29.48. But I want to put a smaller retrace in here, just to see where we're into. Let's see here. So we can put this. I want to take a retrace from this area, and I want to put it up on this one here instead of this high pivot up here. I want to just do a smaller time frame. Yeah, so we're in the 750 on this one as well. Yeah, this is pretty. I got this pivot here. This is critical too. This area here around 31.77. Then you got this pivot here around 30.94. Then of course gap fill and then double bottom here at the 29.34 area. But 19 cents up, 0.6% up. We had okay volume, 9 million, nothing special on the daily, but it did hold up that area. But what worries me, you got to see a reversal, guys. It worries me we cracked this big trend line and we started getting follow through, so we confirm below that, and we're below the MAs here too, so it's in a weak stance. We got out of this little pennant from the upper channel to the lower channel, and it's starting to crack and starting to go down. So keep an eye on this one. The JNUG and the GDXJ might be done for now, but let's see what pattern. If we get a nice reversal, get back above the 618 and start shooting up, then we can start going up for this. But watch for these lower levels here. Gosh, I still like this area 27.43 for the long. That's what I was kind of waiting for, and if this gets down into this area, that's what we're going to be looking at. Maybe for a long, we'll have to look at other areas and how this market's going. So guys, stay buoyant in these markets. You still have light volume. Still, go small positions. Don't load the house on anything. Nothing's 100% bet. And then if we can get some direction on the SPY or the IWM, then we can feel these things out. You got to remember with the USO, dollar up. USO should be coming down. Dollar up. Gold was coming down. That was a little bit intact. So we're getting a little bit out of sync with these things, so let's keep an eye on this. I still believe we do not need higher oil prices in America. They are in a big test right now with the stimulus and unwinding it, and higher oil prices could send this market into a tailspin, and we could start pulling back. So just be careful. It's the consumer spending at the highs, the euphoria. I just don't buy it. So guys, just be careful in these markets. That's my opinion. I don't, you do what you want, but if you're going to do positions, go light, don't go heavy, and put a lot out there, set it and forget it. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by, checking my videos out. Don't forget to come down here, subscribe, and please like it. And send me some comments, stockbookie@gmail.com. Let me know what you think, or let me know what other charts you want me to take a look at. I have no problem doing technicals on anything, guys. Again, thanks for stopping by. God bless. See you on the charts.